And we are live.
Hey everyone, it's Ultra Podcast Z episode 249. We're just one away from 250. Um, it's hot. It's the end of summer, and I'm Manuel, leader of Radio J Connections, and I've been gone for a few weeks, but yeah, I'm back again. Why is my camera so dark? Why is all of our lighting like a subpar today? Anyways,
Don't you
Josh,
dare call my lighting subpar.
I just said that to be a jerk because before we went live, he was complaining about his lighting. But go ahead and introduce yourself while I try to fix my lighting.
Hi, my name is Josh from Fotaku Network. I've been here in place of Manuel in hopes that I could generate enough rage bait, but unfortunately, that's just not possible.
Yeah, so it's August 29th or 27th, and I'm here to tell you that the Earth is actually flat, and that we're a flat disk floating in space, and we're surrounded by an ice wall. And if you sail towards the ice wall, people with guns will stop you. And if there's this account from this 18th century sailor who went beyond that and found a spaceship. And the spaceship told, and this is all real, by the way. I'm not making this up on top of my head. The algorithm on Facebook decided that I needed to learn about flat earthers. And I clicked on a video because I was just like, okay, I'm curious what this video was meant to convince newcomers, and it actually told this story about some sailor from the 1800s who sailed past the ice wall and he found a spaceship. I'm like, people believe this. This is stuff that somebody non-ironically made a video for, and in the comments, I'm sure half the comments have to be people just going along in a troll fashion, but I'm sure several, they're like, yes, I can't believe NASA's covering all this up, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh my god, you guys!
Do you,
You guys aren't voting?
Deluluga, do you mean delayed, or am I just too loud?
Who's too loud? JD is loud. Hold on, say something, JD.
Okay, I've tried to adjust my volume. Is it any better? Okay.
Oh wait, can we? Oh, he is kind of loud. I can barely hear us.
Okay, let me. I will raise you up, and I will drop myself down a bit more.
Okay, let's see how that sounds. The subtitles are funny. What they think we're saying. Okay, let us know if that worked. It definitely sounds a lot better. Anyways, Josh, what's new with you? What are we talking about today? I already forgot.
Oh, okay. I kept trying to remember what video game you were talking about. And it's me and my girlfriend's anniversary, Hana. So we're going to talk about all the amazing times that we've had over the last year. So that's going to be super awesome. I'm just getting an update right now. She's saying stick to the script. Okay, so we're talking about video games today. It's we're talking about Nintendo Direct, and we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 3 that surprisingly doesn't have Knuckles in the title. And then we're talking, it looks like we're talking Manuel's top roster picks for Marvel vs. Capcom 4, since part of the direct was announcing that the Marvel vs. Capcom collection is also coming to the Switch in November. And I say that's pretty awesome. As well as it looks like in November, my girlfriend and I are going to an awesome lantern festival. Yay!
A lantern festival? I know, I'm trying to make it a lantern festival.
Okay, now you're still too soft, but he's too loud. Or he's louder.
Sorry, guys.
There's a comment there. It says, stop talking about your girlfriend. And then there's another comment. It says, boy.
We are at another golden age of people who believe in flat earths, like the people in the past who, yeah. I remember seeing...
There we go. Sorry. Technical issue for a second, but we're fixed.
I remember seeing a thing about that more people believe in the earth is flat now than they did 10 years ago. Okay, let's get started for real. Hey everyone, it's the podcast Z249. I've been gone for a while. My name's Manuel. And that's Josh for Talking Network, who's been filling in for me. And yeah, here we go. We're talking about the Nintendo Direct. I promise you, we did not speak of anything else for the past 10 minutes. I promise you. This is when the show always started. There, you happy, JD?
Yes.
Anyways, Nintendo Direct. Did you watch the Direct and the Indie Direct today, Josh?
I saw the Indie Direct, and I thought it looked cute. It reminded me of some of the games that like you could play already on PC. And then I think it's really awesome that Nintendo wants to collaborate to like have some creators have their games legitimately featured over on the Switch. That's pretty dope.
I think I've ever seen an indie direct that had like interviews with the developers. That was different. Like, did they always do that? I feel like I've never seen that before.
I'm
It's
trying to
like
think if
they
there's
had the
been one
developers like,
specifically
oh,
for
so
indies, but I don't remember it right now.
yeah, that was weird in a good way, but it was just like what? Um, there were some games that what I found funny about almost every game in the indie direct, almost every single one when they were done, they were like, it's available like today after this thing, and I'm like, what the hell? What kind of launch date is that?
It's called a shadow drop manual. It's worked for some things, especially if you can get that hype of, oh wow, it's available now. Cool thing.
I was
Not so much the Sega Saturn, unfortunately, but it's probably better when we're talking software rather than hardware.
Oh yeah, if you've ever heard my Sega Saturn rant, this is kind of relevant because we're talking about Shadow Drop.
I know you were there. I know you were there. You were there
Okay.
during the conference, and you told us about how, the way to describe it on the internet when the Sony guy came up, it felt so great. So you just had to have been there. The energy of the room is not reflective of what the video said. You were like, I was there. It was like kind of a mid thing that came from Sega. At first, I was excited. I don't know why everybody else thought they were mid, but I was excited. They were like, drop now. I was losing my mind, even though I thought it would probably be a terrible like marketing scheme. And then it was like, and then the Sony guy walked up, and I can't remember. I remember you said that before he walked up, he was literally slurping on a Taco Bell 90s large drink, and he like gave it to his assistant, and you said that was the most unprofessional looking thing ever. And then when he went on stage, he just went $2.99, and like the whole crowd, it was like an epic mic drop.
You're describing you have this whole story to this. No, but what's funny about the $2.99 thing, and like I don't think anyone remembers this, and it's just a weird. It goes to show you how like video game history is not documented very well. Um, Prior to the PlayStation, every console came with some sort of pack-in game usually, and the PlayStation was like one of the first, if not the first, major console that didn't. Yeah, the N64 did it afterwards, but this is still kind of early before that. And so when they said $2.99, all you got was a console, a controller, a power thingy, and a RF thingy or whatever the fuck it came with. But the Sega Saturn came with the game, and you could save in the console because it had like onboard memory. And the PlayStation, you had to buy a memory card and a game. So even though there was a $100 price difference, it really wasn't a $100 price difference. So that Sony did good marketing. Honestly, I don't know how the hell Sega didn't like recover from that, because it's like who was that marketing person that couldn't like explain that to people?
Their marketing person was a guy in a karate suit who sold millions in Japan. I don't know about America though.
But yeah, I always think that's funny. It's like, man, there's some really better like history taking in like for video game stuff. I still see people like even our friend, the so-called gaming by friend I mean that I don't actually know him. Even the gaming historian mentions that as like fact and doesn't put the actual caveat that that's not a fair comparison. Those are not the same SKUs they were comparing. Anyway, PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn, it sucks. There you go. Yeah, did you watch the Direct had a game called Date Everything?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that one?
Yes.
Where you could apparently date everything? Am I the only one who was disappointed that the everything, like dating a cabinet, dating a table, dating a whatever, that they turn into people?
Probably not,
What
but
have you been
I'm
smoking?
not disappointed.
Okay, so when I heard of that game, I thought that you were gonna date a table, that you were gonna date a cabinet, that you were gonna date a refrigerator. Like, that's wacky. Dating a cabinet and then it turns into a guy who's wearing a cabinet design shirt? That's boring.
Manuel, there's a loneliness crisis apparently. We don't know how many of those people literally did things to their inanimate objects in the house.
Are we getting cold gassy here? Because like the desk.
I'm
It's
talking about the
funny
lonely
because
men,
like
not the lonely women.
I played this game recently called Meet Cutie. That's the name of the game. Meta Meet Cutie. It's a dating sim for the Switch. In that game, one of the routes that you can get to, spoiler alert, I guess, you could fall in love and have a good ending, like when you marry her and everything like that. You marry a desk. You marry a desk, like this kid's school desk. He actually like falls in love with his desk, graduates. Now I'm just spoiling it. Misses the desk so much, he goes to college, becomes a teacher, and gets a job back at his old school so he can meet the desk again. And then he marries the desk. Why the fuck isn't date everything like that? Is that asking too much?
I like the story where the desk was haunted and people died Final Destination style.
Date a table? Do I need? Oh, do I really? You made the cookie ass thing. But yeah, I don't know. And it's funny because like apparently it has all these big name voice actors because that's why I remember seeing a lot about it on Twitter, and I remember seeing
Manuel,
the
sometimes
early.
people do smut for work. We know this. Don't kick down those people. Don't kick those people while they're
No,
down. They had to find
I'm
work.
I'm gonna go tweet at everyone like I don't care if you're doing smut, but don't make the table into a hot guy. Just fuck the table.
The
Just fuck the
table is a
cabinet.
hot guy because the hot guy can service many at once.
No, I want to fuck the table. There I said it. Like I don't want to have. I don't want to like date in a dating sim where I just they're just people with like. Okay, what am I saying? I need to back up.
Yeah, this doesn't even sound like a game I can like. It wasn't in the direct, is what I'm saying.
It was.
It wasn't direct.
Date
Anyway,
everything.
the other
Not the version he's describing.
the other direct was a bit more stuff in there. Like they mentioned the Capcom fighting thing. We'll move on because I don't feel like talking about tables anymore. Uh, the,
You brought it up.
You're the one who brought
the
it up.
Capcom the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 has like all the Marvel versus SNK Marvel, all the Capcom versus SNK games, which I'm excited for. It has Project Justice, which I'm a little upset about because prior to this, that was only available on the Dreamcast, and I have the Dreamcast version, which I'm sure still goes for a ton of money.
Oh,
But I'm like,
boo-hoo. A game is available that might somewhat impact your resale value.
yes, thank you. That's
He
what I
could have used
care
that
about. I
money
was
to
like,
pay
no.
pay off his debts to me, but now it's going to plummet in value.
Fun fact, though, I already mentioned this in the past. I have a near complete Dreamcast collection by accident because, like, through random ways, I've bought all the Holy Grail type, games. Like, I have like Ill Bleed, I have Project Justice, I have like everything that's rare. Um, so and most of the stuff I'm missing is like sports stuff and like shit like that. So I'm like, I think it only has like 200 games, and I have like 150 something. So yeah. So my point to bringing this up is, even if I sell all my games one day, I'm not going to sell a Dreamcast collection. So like that dies with me. I already have like when I die, like if I'm able to, I'm gonna like set it all on fire. No one's having it afterwards.
Hey, Manuel, I
Sorry,
still
JD.
have my 90 seconds to grab anything I can. I think I'm going to have to save that Dreamcast collection now.
No, Dreamcast collections are getting burnt. But no, the Project Justice, there's the Power Stone games in there too. They mentioned the Suikoden 1 and 2. It's all remake city. Suikoden 1 and 2 remakes
Those
are
aren't
finally
part.
coming
Those
in.
two aren't part of that collection, but they are coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I'm just naming all like some of the games that came out. Are you excited for Suikoden 1 and 2? Those are also like, well, 2 is a hard to find game. Um,
Well, I mean, they're
but like
available already on the PlayStation Store. I was just kind of like curious if I'm like, I wonder if I should get an RPG with over 100 uh playable like characters to add to the party or not.
it's funny because like we were gonna play that on stream if JD remembers, but
Yes, I
like
remember. Don't worry, Manuel.
instead of some other game. I don't know if it was Breath of Fire or Wild Arms 2, but we were going to play that instead. And then we were waiting for the remake to come out. For those that don't know, Suikoden is based on it's actually not based on, the title is the same title as this Chinese novel called The Water Margin. It's about the 108 stars of destiny, like who come together and like a very Robin Hood story, like fight an evil government. And Suikoden's funny because like that's the name of a book. and somehow Konami got that trademarked. Because like when they're making that Suikoden, what's it called? The the spiritual successor that like got kickstarted. What's it called, JD?
I don't remember.
Anyways, it's like 110 heroes, what the fuck it's called. They couldn't use the name Suikoden, and I'm like, how did they let that get like that's like trademarking the Bible.
I mean,
it's like, how do you do that?
You might also just not want to name it the same thing so that it gets confused as being part of the series. For anyone who doesn't
I don't know.
realize it.
But it's the same story. Like you can call it anything like Sayuki, for example, which is I don't know if I mentioned this before, but that's why Sayuki Reload exists and why everything's based off of that, because they couldn't trademark Sayuki by itself, because that just means Journey to the West.
Yeah, but like I said, Manuel, you wouldn't want someone picking up another thing based on Journey to the West that is also called Sayuki for whatever reason and thinking it's part of the series. I can see why you wouldn't want to name it the exact same thing as some other thing.
Well, what are you excited for, Josh, is coming out soon for the Switch.
Let's see. Both of the Capcom fighting collections. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think there's a new Xenoblade. Tales of Graces, I think, would be pretty dope. Let me see. It wasn't there, but apparently Cereza's getting a game when she's like younger. Or I guess Bayonetta when they're younger.
You mean Bayonetta Origins, the one that came out last year?
Oh, that came out last year?
Yeah.
It came out last year.
Oh, it totally passed me by. It was in related videos. So I was like, I never heard of that. Well, either way, that game's been out for a while. That looks cute. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty much about that. I've got like a lot of games on my Switch that I've still yet to get to, but I think it's really cool that they still have additional games like that are available just in case if anything ever happens to the PS3 store. Yep.
No, they announced the Dragon Quest 3 remake finally has a release date, and like it's funny because like I remember like when we interviewed Shibuya Kaho at ALA, she mentioned wanting to play that. So I was thinking about her when I saw that trailer. And that trailer, did you watch that trailer? That game, that version of the game looks like a mobile release. And I fucking hate Square for this. Like whenever Square makes a game, and this is my point with every Square release of all time. Whenever Square makes a game and you know it's coming out to mobile, like it'll come out to mobile at some point, the mobile version is what everyone's getting. Because it looks like you could tell the spacing of everything, you tell the font they used. It's like this is a mobile release that's getting to consoles. I hate that so much. I can't stand the way they do that. There's also a Castlevania DS collection that's coming out. Did you see that?
Yes.
I'm like, how the hell? I'm confused how they're going to do that because the first DS game, Dawn of Sorrow, uses the touchpad. Like, you have to drop things to kill the bosses.
I assume they're just going to move it up to the main screen and have you control it with one of the sticks.
I guess, but like
they'll do some quality of life changes like they did for Wind Waker. Not Wind Waker. Well, yes, Wind Waker, but I meant to say Skyward Sword.
Oh, Skyward Sword! Like I'm surprised that they managed to get that because like I thought that game would never get transferred over because I'm like, no, that game is built around like wagging the fucking Wiimote everywhere. There's a Tetris Forever collection, which apparently
I had the Tetris 99 that they were talking about. I still have it on my Wii.
Oh yeah, the Tetris 99 is the one the what's it called? The Fortnite Tetris.
The Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. That's the word. I'm sure Fortnite loved that I just equated Battle Royale with Fortnite. But
yeah, my family played it against one another. It was like the easiest game for all four of us to play at once.
Yeah, I love Tetris 99, and they're doing the fucking they're doing the Tetris Forever, which is like the press release I got for it calls it a documentary because like there's footage and there's games, but it's just a collection that I guess has some footage, and I'm like, I just love that it includes Hatris. I'm like, do we really need Hatris? Like, who is missing Hatris? The game of Tetris where you match hats.
You never know, man.
I don't know. Have you ever matched hats before?
I'm just like, really? But yeah.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I'm excited for it, kinda. But it's like, do we need 10 versions of Tetris in a collection?
Yes.
I don't know about
There's a Mickey Mouse version of Tetris also. That game's bonkers as fuck. It's cool.
Is that the one for the DS? I feel like I remember that or
Oh
something.
no, that was the PlayStation game, and also 64.
Oh, you're right. See, why don't we get what was the one for the 64? Tetris Sphere? I remember that one. Wait, was that for the 64?
I believe so,
Am I
Manuel.
making that up? Or is that
I
for,
know the game you're talking about. I don't remember its title.
but yeah, anyways, there was one where you made a cube. Maybe that's for the Virtual Boy, actually.
Game
Probably
Sphere.
the Virtual Boy. But no, I'm just like, do we need like 8 versions of Tetris, like, or however many there were in the collection? I don't know.
Yeah, and they all go. They all pay to the Russian government.
Yeah, apparently Alexei Pajitnov has all the rights, and I just feel like him and what's the other guy's name, the dude from Bulletproof Software, they're kind of just like milking the I mean, I don't say milking because it's a classic game, but like I don't know, just give me the Game Boy Tetris, I'm fine. Give me the Game Boy Tetris, but give me the ability to quickly drop pieces, and I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, Manuel, you are right. It is called Tetris Sphere.
Oh, Tetris Sphere, okay. But yeah, Tetris Forever it's not on this collection though. I'm pointing that out. It's not on this collection. Um. Anyways, Yakuza Kiwami is getting released on there, which I guess was already released elsewhere. And I'm like, oh, okay. I can only assume it's keeping the Yakuza name because it was already called that. But I'm like, that just confuses things. They should have changed that name to Like a Dragon now, in my opinion.
Yeah, this means that we're totally getting Yakuza representation in Super Smash Bros. Brawl Ultimate Beyond.
Oh my god,
I say
that would be funny though.
I think someone pointed out that it is dropping the day the new Amazon series drops, so I assume they're hoping for that same kind of like boost that Fallout got the day its Amazon series dropped.
Synergy.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why all the games are free on Amazon? I mentioned that like you can get the first 2 Fallouts if you're like Amazon Prime.
Yes.
You can get them free on GOG. Oh, I didn't know that. They're re-releasing My Sims, which I'm excited for because I love that series. It's My Sims and My Sims Kingdoms are getting released together in a new Switch version.
I did not know it
I
had so many fans.
Fucking love My Sims.
Yeah, I had never heard anyone else talk about it beyond like reviews I saw of it at the time, and now I'm just seeing so many people from you and like a Discord I'm on with people from my old anime club. It's like, oh wow, I did not realize it had so many people, like so many fans.
It's funny because I watched the thing and took notes as I was watching it. They announced a new Atelier game called Atelier Yumiya. I'm sure there's more to that title, or maybe there isn't. But I wrote Atelier Yumiya, and this is my exact note. You want to know what my note is?
Yes.
It's funny because just Google Atelier Yumiya and let me know if you think so too. I typed in my notes Atelier Yumiya ... I want to see fan art. And you could take that however you want.
It's a very soft game. You're purposely trying to make this like way more explicit than it is.
No, this
Have
character
you seen Manuel
like...
or heard him talk about anything?
Okay, for those who don't know, the original Atelier game, Atelier, what's her name? The one with like apparently she's known for her thighs to the point where the anime keeps showing her thighs. Like I didn't know that.
Thighs are not an essentially explicit part of the body.
Well, there's some weird shots in the anime because of it. But if you look at Atelier Yumiya, that game, like I feel like they made this character like even in the art for it, she's doing a flip, and like it looks like you were supposed to get a panty shot, but there's like something covering it. So yeah, they clearly were sexualizing her, and I'm just like,
it's saving lives. Those thick thighs are saving lives. You didn't get your panty shot. You're saying it's alluding to it. The character's just showing off how amazing they are and how they save lives.
So Atelier is known for being thick.
Also, isn't French?
Atelier. I don't know. I'm not French. This isn't croissant or whatever you were talking about in the vacation.
Wow, that was so racist, Manuel. Oh, how are you so? How is it that we have you back? It's only barely been half an hour, and you've done more stuff to get us canceled in old Twitter than like what we had experienced the last 2 weeks.
No one likes the French.
And that includes the French.
Dude, do you not see the background here? Do you not see the background?
Oh,
do you have a French flag there? Are you French?
Miraculous.
Is he French?
Yeah, it's a French TV series, Manuel.
Oh, No one likes France. But no, seriously, the Atelier Yumi looks like I saw it and my first thought was like I need to look up fan art of this, and I'm sure I'm not looking it up now, but I'm sure because that's what the internet does. Somebody has already made day one fan art of that. I am positive.
Okay, listen, I know that you have the fan art and everything in your house, along with all the video games, and yet no one is taking one-way flights to your house. They're taking them to Paris.
Okay. Okay, for the record, in case you're curious and in case you want to answer the question there, I cannot find Atelier fan art of Yumiya, but there's a lot of Atelier, whatever, fan art, if you know what I mean. What is this
Just your
girl's
teen
name? The one
teenagers.
that I always... Oh, Riza? That's the one apparently with the thighs, by the way.
Okay, the first is Mari though, or Marie. I don't know my French pronunciation.
Exactly, and that's why I corrected with the Riza thing because that's not the first one. But Riza is the one I think in the anime, and Riza is the one that has the thighs. And the only reason, okay, for the record, I didn't know about the thigh thing, and I actually played a couple of the Riza games. I only knew about that because people were talking about it when the anime came out, like praising the anime, as in like, oh my god, like you could tell they love Atelier Riza because they gave her the thighs. They have all these thigh shots, and I'm like, and you call me perverted?
Yes, Manuel, because you are.
I'm not. Hey, don't redeem teenagers. I'm being a teenager. Josh isn't.
You're just like I haven't played the games yet. That's all.
You're not looking up fan art of everything. They're also making a Trails remake, a Trails in the Sky game remake, but that gets some funny news because like apparently Gematsu, the outlet, they contacted NIS America about like the release, and NIS America is like, oh, we're not releasing it. So everyone's all like, oh, Falcom's doing it themselves. And like, thank God. This is probably the part where like if NAS America is watching, they're gonna cancel all of our review copies like forever. But like NAS America like downsized some of their PR department. Well, I should say they downsized some of the PR department, so I'm sure people lost their jobs. So there you go. But like it's hard to contact them anymore from the press side. Is what I'm getting at. So I'm glad Falcom Falcom took over. I'll contact Falcom directly. We don't need these people. And for those that don't know, NAS America used to do like all the Falcon games, like East, the Trails games, and then before that, XC did them. So now we get like 3 publishers for like one series. I love the Trail series. It's very hard to get into. Everyone likes to compare it to Game of Thrones because it has like all these like various like regions fighting over each other, and like all the games are interconnected by like people from like just wars. But unlike I think most of the game series that are long running, you cannot jump into it fresh. You have to play all 10, 12 games. Like if you didn't play Trails of the Sky 20 years ago, just don't bother. You won't know what's going on.
Pretty tall order.
So Manuel, you're saying
Kaylee is in the new game. I actually kind of she plays Tio Plato in like they did the annoying thing that I hate that when dub people do, and I don't mean the actors, I mean like the companies. When they did Trails of Cold Steel, which is one of the series it's technically its own series, but it does tie in. They gave her a character in that, and then when they did the newer Trails games, they gave her a character in that. And I'm positive. I don't care. You could tell me that I'm wrong, but I'm positive that the person who cast those roles did not know that those games were going to intersect one day. Because now, when the games have intersected, she's playing across herself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like Atlas, or when they told Johnny on Botch, yes, you're going to be voicing the protagonist of Persona 4. Okay, I guess I could do him in the fighting game. Oh, it looks like there's an anime coming out. Yes, you will voice both Adachi and Yunarukami. Was that the goal? Was that the goal? Could I just continue to voice Adachi? And they were like, no, you must voice both of them now.
I think that,
really Atlas completely, but they knew what they were doing and they committed to it.
I love Atlas. I love Johnny Young Bosch too. By the way, he's the homie. I haven't spoken to him since like directly since the pandemic. But I wouldn't say we were like BFFs, but
Were
we're
you
so
F's though?
yeah, we're Fs. We're Fs. I told you before. I think we came on the we came on the anniversary. We came upon the anniversary recently, a couple of years ago, when I played guitar on stage with Johnny Young Bosch and I Shine. Um,
I remember he came to Bakersfield and no one gave two shits about the band when they were like questioning like the whole band was together for like one of the panels. And so everything was very much directed just at him. So then they had their kind of acoustic show later in the evening. And I'll always remember just how much Johnny Young Bosch probably was not, or his band was not the biggest fan of being there when very much so they say, "Yeah, we can just answer questions while we play." And I was like, "So, like, who would you guys play with, living or dead, if like you'd be able to do like like a dream concert with?" And Johnny on Botch dead ass goes, "That's like an actual question."
Like,
They have
what?
not come back. I do
well,
not.
the band broke up unfortunately because like I don't know if it's because of that,
Oh no, that
but
was years ago. That could have been us. That
no,
could have
I
been
mean,
us. That was like that was years. It could have just been
let me
like,
rephrase
hey,
that.
remember when we were in Bakersfield? That
I
show
don't
sucked. That sucks
I
so
don't think
bad,
it's because
Johnny. No one gives two shits about us. We're done. Goodbye.
no, because
Goodbye.
it's clear the band was trying to be like its own thing, and not just tag to Johnny Young Bosch. Like there was no like they were a good band. They were a good like pop punk type band. You should listen to them one day if anyone hasn't. I mean, watching I Shine, but um it had like one of Johnny's like apparently like kind of childhood friends in the group. Like he was like the drummer and like the co-main guy. It
Mhm.
had Jenny on bass, who was known for other local bands, and then it had my homie, who I'm actually pretty decently BFFs with, like direct, who actually is the one who introduced me to Johnny and Bosch, Polo on guitar. And Polo has played for tons of other bands and tons of other artists, um, knows tons of people, and they were a good band. And I just think that, like, unfortunately, and I think when they played at ALA in 2013, 2014, one of the years it was still in LAX Hilton or Marriott. And I remember when they were doing their show, and I really want to know when Bakersfield was now because when he was doing the ALA show, people were asking him like 'cause he was also kind of doing a I don't want to say a Q&A, but he was also letting people talk to like it was a very informal thing too. The room was tiny they were playing in because it was a hotel, it was a tiny space. And whenever they would stop and they were tuning their instruments, people would ask them questions. And somebody asked him about like Power Rangers, like something Power Ranger related. And he's all like, "Ugh, I don't really want to answer stuff if it's not about the band or about the music." Like he was kind of like he wasn't being a jerk about it, but he was legit making a point that he didn't want to talk about things that weren't, band related.
Mhm.
'Cause I don't think Johnny Young Bosch was a guest at ALA, but I Stein was.
I don't know if
I
there's.
think it's really under. It is really understandable. The second he had it was a 2-day thing, so they were also going to have a panel on the second day, and that's how they advertised it on the panel. So it would be like Johnny on Bosch and I Shine, but ultimately on the second day, Johnny just decided to just do the panel on his own because it felt like maybe that was more what they were interested in. I kid you not, like I have the videos on my YouTube of that day. There is one, I feel kind of bad about this. There is one video where it stopped. I know that you're able to choose the thumbnail, but literally on like the third video or something, it stopped with one of the band members kind of going like this while he's just in the background, not resting his head. It's kind of like this, okay? And I both felt like, yeah, I think that might have been the frustration because it was pretty much just directed only at Johnny Young Botch. Um, I think there's even a point in time during that same panel where he says if you like could direct a question towards the whole band or something like that. And I think that's just very understandable for him to take that route, especially when it's like, hey, it's a more group related thing. He knows that a lot of people are there to see him, and I think it's also just kind of a bummer when like these venues are probably one of the best places where he can like do that with the band. But I mean, the same thing with like Troy Baker and his band, because they were also like at Long Beach Comic Expo one year.
Yeah.
And very much it was like very like a very like similar thing to it. Though in a lot of the like more marketing aspects that he has for his things, it's very much that he's like mainly on the promotions for like the albums and stuff like that. I think some of them even have just specifically him as a model for it. Um, and I think it's just a little tough when maybe there's not as many people that'll be as versed in the entirety of what the entire band is going through. And it makes more sense to try and like get them more interested, because I'm pretty sure a lot of his like bandmates are also really big into like the same nerd sphere. And unless if it's something that is more collaborative, like with Critical Role, and not to mention that a lot of people also in Critical Role, there were also voice actors that like went into Critical Role with Matthew Mercer. But in terms of being able to have that situation where you have more like, I guess, literal lore of your people that are like with you, um, it probably just become a situation where it's a little rough when maybe everybody could see the situation occurring. It's a different kind of like pressure. I mean, there's like other bands that have other issues where they'll have creative differences and they go out to do a bunch of different side projects. Kind of like Corey Taylor with his own separate band from Slipknot.
Yeah.
And
I looked up your iShine videos. They're from 2016.
yeah.
They were after, so I don't want to claim that like I do want to take it back by claim that Bakersfield ruined iShine. But fun fact, I think I can't remember if it was 2016 or 17. Fuck, I wish I could. It has to be 16 because Power Morphicon. It was at Power Morphicon. Power Morphicon's a bi-yearly convention, and it's the even number, so it had to have been 16. So this is a few months before I played on stage with them. So in a funny note.
Also, Manuel, I think I've brought it up before, but he and Paulo did start a new band in 2021 and they put out an album.
Yeah, they did, and I think that was a one-off though, and that was probably pandemic related, from what I understand. Because I think Polo's back in the U.S. now, but Polo did move back to Japan for like a year or something. So I think that kind of just like, was it like something Giants, right?
Where Giants Fall, I believe.
There you go. Because I want to say they might be Giants, but isn't that the Malcolm in the Middle?
I have a question though for you, Manuel. Though.
What?
While playing on stage and everything, did you have a situation where like several of the bands, if not like a collaboration with like other people as well, did you just do like the Power Rangers theme song?
Oh,
like
so
the 90s version. I'm pretty sure there was like covers of everything, but like was that like a major highlight that happened? Was it like
I want to reiterate, and I probably should tell the story a bit more directly because I keep telling the story. I don't want to make it sound like Johnny and Bosch asked me to, like, I don't want to be Hulk Hogan here, like telling tall tales, like we're like Metallica asked me to play guitar for them, no, or whatever. No, I'm not.
Is it like when Green Day brings a fan on stage to play guitar for Holiday?
Exactly. Like I want to make this more clear. Like I was there actually as iShine's guest, more directly because of Polo, but I was there. I mean, I already knew Johnny too, so like it wasn't like I was unknown to them, but I was there literally as their guest, and I brought. It's funny because like I was guest of a guest, and then I had a guest of. Well, they gave me 2 guest badges. I think I was supposed to bring someone else. The other person couldn't come. So I brought Nestor of all people. So me and Nestor go to Power Morphicon. We have a good time. So we have like guest badges. So we're just like wandering the convention center. And so like when iShine's concert happens, and like just to cut to that part of the day because the rest of it doesn't really matter. I go to the concert, and same thing, like they're doing all their songs, and they're doing this one song that I can't remember the name of. I'll look it up later, and I'll mention it to JD. But I had previously told both Johnny and Polo, and pretty much the whole band, that this is one song that I really like from like one of their first albums, and they don't play it that often, like anymore, like up to that point. At this point, I had seen them live quite a few times because, like, whenever I would go to a convention, Johnny was there, we'd hang out. I'd go to their show because the homies. And when they were about to play it, I was like, hell yeah, they're gonna play it. And then Polo's like, get on stage, and then Johnny's like, yeah. Then I go on stage, and yeah. And fun fact, they did not ask if I knew how to play it before this.
I
don't want to make it sound.
I just imagine the alternate universe where you never learned to play guitar or bass, and just brought up on stage and just completely flailing, playing absolutely nothing coherent.
It was sheer luck that like maybe like Polo had knew somehow through because like some friends had known, but I had never mentioned to Polo about like any of my experience playing bands or playing anything. So for all he knew, like JD just said, for all he knew, it was gonna embarrass everyone and kill the show. But thank God it did. But yeah,
it was very much the opposite of Lois from that Kiss episode.
yeah. So it was pretty legit. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, played it. It was legit. Everyone had a good time. Like people seemed really confused on stage, but they got the vibe what was happening. Like, oh, clearly he knows them, and they asked him to come up. I think they thought it was more random than it was. Maybe they thought like, hey, if we cheer loud, maybe they'll invite us up next. You know. But yeah, and then afterwards, when the song was over, obviously I went back downstage, and like, their manager was like, "Oh, I got all these pictures of you. I'll send them to you later." She never did, by the way. I don't want to call her out, but I just want to point that out. She never did. And I do know. I still think we're still friends on things. I haven't talked to her in years, but like we did know each other personally, and she just never sent me those photos. Thankfully, Nestor took some. So, and he took some video too, I think, which I think it might be lost at this point. But yeah, and he sent them to me. So that's why there's evidence. I think I was wearing a Power Ranger shirt too. But anyway,
that was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. So I want to point that out. It was just the first song and it was because I liked it, and it wasn't like I did not fill in for Eyeshine the entire show because the guitarist because Polo got sick and I had to go on stage, save the day. No, it wasn't like that. But that was fun. It was almost exactly 8 years ago now.
Good,
yeah.
Good shit.
Good shit. Younger Manuel, younger guitar playing Manuel. They were so lucky. I was able to follow along that song, and I did. To be fair, I didn't really know it, but it's simple enough. I knew the chord progression enough. I'm like, I could fake this. And then Johnny got to the coolest part though, and thank God that's what the picture shows. When they got to the solo,
mm-hmm.
Like it was so much easier to play at that point because I'm like, okay, the solo I could just do the rhythm. That's easy. And then Johnny started doing his. Johnny has the solo, not Polo, in this song. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I'm like, hopefully they don't want me to play the solo. That would have been embarrassing. Anyway, what were we talking about before we got to Johnny and Bosch?
We were talking back to
Trails. I was like, Manuel doesn't like Trails, or dislikes Trails when it has Kaylee in it. Then you're like, Kaylee has 2 roles. Then Josh is like, oh yeah, like Johnny Young Bosch in Persona 4, the animation, because he voices both Adachi and the main character.
Yeah, the difference being though is they didn't have it planned in Trails, but they absolutely did have it planned for Atlas Games. They knew exactly what they were doing. It's not like they weren't going to backpedal and seem like they had no clue that they were going to include a character in a game that they were suddenly going to have with an actual voice. They knew.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that everyone. I should probably ask Kaylee one day. That they probably thought they were going to recast the game because I think when Kaylee was cast. Well, actually, I don't think I know when Kaylee was cast. The series was being published by Xseed. It was like different people like that were talking on the gaming and the localization end. I mean, and then when she was cast as the other character, Tio, that was NAS America, and then when it became like, oh yeah, they meet in this new game like that just came out like last year. It's like, God, you get to hear Kaylee talking to Kaylee now.
I mean, and that's why you don't watch. Was it the dub of Welcome to Demon School of Iruma-kun, where she voices like 7 characters?
Did you do that there too? Oh my God!
They're all like characters are related to each other. I believe they're also voiced by the same voice actor in Japanese as well.
Okay, that's a little different then. I didn't know that. I didn't know the series well enough. But I just don't like when shows do. I mean, okay, that's different because that was like intended. But like, I just can't stand when shows like do like. I'm like, get other actors. And honestly, on the actor side of things, I'm sure that's a better thing to say anyway. Give someone else a try.
Speaking of roles that are giving other people a try, Sonic 3's trailer was recently released, and it is amazing.
Who's Chris Pratt playing?
You mean
John Reeves?
You mean Neo the shoot,
Johnny Utah, John Wick.
John Wick. There we go. John Wick.
You playing Shadow for real?
Yes, he's actually playing Shadow.
Yeah.
I thought it was a meme. I thought people were making that up.
No, he be playing Shadow. You see, they give everyone else a chance to play a different Sonic character except Tails, but everyone else is taking their own has their own spin on the characters except Tails. But it's all that's what matters, you know. It'll
I
be
might
weird
watch
when they do a multiverse movie and Tails is voiced by the exact same character throughout, but it is pretty decent though that we have Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog.
I'm kind of excited for that. I didn't like the first Sonic movie. I like the second one better. Um, I
You said
the
that
thing-
in a way that most people go, I like the first one better than the sequel.
no, I like this. The second one was pretty good. The first one, I mentioned this before. Like, it's funny because that movie came out, I think, before the pandemic, right? It was definitely filmed before.
No,
but that movie feels like a
if it did, it
pandemic
came
movie.
out right before because there
It
were
was
jokes that it was going to win Best Picture.
2019.
No,
But it was
2019.
filmed. It was filmed before the pandemic. But clearly, fucking Jim Carrey must have been too expensive to have on set. You could tell all of his stuff was filmed like either in a weekend. I mean, probably not a weekend. But you could tell his stuff was filmed on its own. Like he had his own. Like they had to deal with him totally separately because nothing. Like pretty much, he never interacts with anyone, and like it's just wild to watch. And I remember when movies were being produced and TV shows especially were being produced during the pandemic, I always mention when shows have that pandemic feel, when like characters are like isolated in small groups, and that movie feels like one, even though it was not a pandemic movie. I find that wild.
It's a CG. There was CGI, bro.
Oh wow, that
It
took up the
was-
entire text box. Or no, like I was trying to say, the original film was 2020 because people were joking that after theaters shut
Oh.
down, under the traditional rules to win Best Picture, you have to be playing for a week in Los Angeles or New York. And it was one of the few movies that had been made it out before they all shut down. So it was a joke
It
that
was,
Sonic the Hedgehog was going to win Best Picture basically by default. Though had that been true, it probably would have gone to Onward.
Sonic, this first Sonic movie was better than Onward.
I don't know, and I just was like, Wait, I was making a joke. Is Chris Pratt in that one? He
Yes,
wasn't,
No,
right?
he's- wait, in Onward, yes,
He was the human, right?
with
No.
Tom Holland.
They're not human.
Who's the-
They're like fantasy creatures. I think they're dark elves. I don't remember if they're, but I believe they're also mixed race. So I
Okay.
don't remember.
Onward. Okay. I watched Passengers again today. Like, this random statement to make, I know. In case you don't know, Passengers is the movie that, like, I swear that movie has to be money laundering. I learned today that movie cost $100 million to make, and if you ever watch it, there's 3 people in it, and I'm not exaggerating. But yeah, it's Chris Pratt. What's her name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Katniss. Yeah, like Katniss. And like, I remember watching that movie. Have you ever seen that movie, by the way, Josh?
I don't think I've
Passengers?
seen Passengers.
Okay, crash course version. These people are going on a colony to some other planet, right? It's going to take 120 years to get there. So they go, or some amount of years. It might not be 120. Take years, and they're in a hibernated sleep. And the ship hits an asteroid, and Chris Pratt wakes up 90 years too early. And after like going crazy for a year, being himself, he's like, oh, he starts getting obsessed with this woman named Aurora, aka the Sleeping Beauty. He gets obsessed
Okay.
with her, like literally goes through the files, looks up her life, knows everything about her, and he decides he's gonna wake her up.
Is this like a
And
recent
obviously-
movie?
Yes, I mean it was not recent, but it's like 8 years ago. But it's not old. He woke her up, and now she's like, "What's happening?" And he lies to her, and they fall in love, and like they're about to get married, and then like it comes out that like he woke her up, and he's basically like sentenced her to die. And then nonsense happens, and they have to save the ship, and everyone's happy.
This
But
this
I remember-
okay. This is definitely going to tickle that part of your brain where you're going to tell us that you were there also. Okay, but
I watched-
this Passengers movie. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it sounds a lot like I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. This Passenger movie reminds me a lot of the video game adaptation.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
Have No
okay.
Mouth and I Must
That
Scream.
makes a lot more sense. For the record, I remember what. Okay, I went to go see this movie. Doesn't matter. I went to go see. I went to go see this movie with somebody like when it came out, and I remember like when we left the theater, both of us were like, "That movie was weird, right?" and we're like, right? It's like we're supposed to like that relationship and everything like that, but Chris Pratt is like a creeper. Like, okay, the whole plot would have been fixed if she just woke up the way he did, like randomly. But because he stalked her for a year, a literal year, then woke her up and then lied to her for another year, it's all like, that's creepy, right?
Yeah.
Loneliness is a hell of a drug, but yes,
Question,
that
Manuel.
last year right there, that's
And
creepy.
that's actually how they justify it in the movie. Like Lawrence Fishburne
Yeah.
wakes up, he's a third person, and he's all like, loneliness, like a guy will grab onto anything if he's sinking.
Question,
I don't
Manuel.
think that's directed towards the guy. I think anyone would go like completely insane if they had nobody else to communicate with. I mean, Tom Hanks literally threw his blood-stained foot on a well, no, he didn't throw it. It's just like, he kicked a volleyball with a blood-stained foot and then he drew it into a face after he realized that this
Will
could
Smith.
be a only form of communication he had.
Oh,
Hold
So
on.
Yeah, sorry,
wanna
I've been
hear
trying to ask a
JD's
question.
side.
do
Yeah.
we start knowing that he like specifically woke her up, or do we just start with her waking up
Oh.
and not knowing what's going on?
No, we know.
Oh, okay.
Like the
Like-
movie, like he spends several months like just going crazy. He's actually going to like unalive himself at one point,
Mhm.
and then like he just sees her and like Aurora, because like in the whole connection to Sleeping Beauty pops into his head, and he go and like I didn't make that part up. He goes to the files, finds her file, reads it, and like memorizes it. He
Okay,
knows her life.
okay, because it just started with
and
her
he
waking
wakes
up
up.
and not knowing that. I would have said the better.
that
ending
could
would have
actually
been,
make for a really creepy movie where it's like she's alone, but it turns out there's
Horror
like
movie, yeah.
someone else the whole time, and then we get like their backstory afterwards.
Mhm.
No, and it's funny because like, I talked to the friend I watched it with, and she was like, "Yeah, that was weird, right? Like, like did we watch a horror movie or what?" And it's meant to be played as a love story, by the way. It isn't.
Yeah. Okay. As I was trying to say, like playing it from when she wakes up, that like the real that she kills him for whatever reason, and now she's stuck alone. And what is she going to do? Is she going to wake someone up? Is the loneliness cycle just going to continue? And
For the record, in case you're curious, what I would do in that situation, I wouldn't have woke her. Well, I probably would have woken her up, yeah. But you know what else I would have done? I would have woke everyone up on that ship.
It kind of feels like that would have been a more like normal thing to do.
yeah, but then
Yeah, it's
everyone
like,
probably
I'm
would have
sorry,
died.
but
There's not enough supplies for that many people if they're all supposed to be in
I
hibernation.
mean,
Yeah, exactly. Like all y'all gonna have your babies hopefully will live and like eat us, and they will go to the colony because all of y'all are living 90 years with me. I don't care what's going on here. You know what I would do? I'd be a jerk about it. I'd wake everyone up. I get back in my pod. I'd be like, "What happened? Like, what's going on? That's weird. Where are we?" And hopefully,
like
robots don't ever tell anyone.
I feel like I would go to talk about aliens after that, but I mean, getting back to Sonic though, the trailer. What are your thoughts about the trailer?
I just saw it right now. I didn't hear it, unfortunately, so I didn't hear Keanu Reeves' voice. But I was skimming through it when you guys were talking and mentioned it. Like I said, it looks,
Wait, hold up. No,
didn't know
I
it came
think
out.
you bought for time with a Chris Pratt related movie. Which I'll say clever, but
Chris Pratt's in. I don't know about Chris Pratt sometimes. He's a weird guy. He's
Oh.
Mario. He's Mario, and he's Garfield. Like, why is he Garfield? Why is he Mario?
Because he's a recognizable name and bankable.
Yeah.
Is he really
Oh, okay,
that
Sonic 3 though.
Oh.
Shadow doing the Akira slide on that motorcycle.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, I saw the Akira. Like, it's funny because like I don't think I ever noticed how many times the Akira slide happens. I saw it in what's that movie called? The one where like there's an alien, but it's the horse ranch.
Nope.
It's a famous movie came a couple years ago. Nope. Yeah, Nope. There you go. There's a scene in Nope where she does the Akira slide, and that was the first movie I ever noticed it in. And then, like, I think I went to go look it up. Like, did anybody notice? Like, I googled that, and then I stumbled across a compilation of the hundreds of anime, live action Japanese movies, live action US movies, tons of movies that have all stolen. Well, I don't know stolen, but like have all used the Akira slide.
Homage the scene.
Yes. Yeah, I saw it there too. But Nope was the first time I'd ever noticed it, which is a weird thing to say. And I think I just saw that kind of recently, well, like last year, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited for Sonic 3. When the fuck does it come out?
Oh, I didn't bother with that part. I was
Yeah,
still
exactly.
just I was debating if whether or not what I saw was what I would be
Here.
happy with, but then I'm
September
like,
20th, Manuel.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's always just been like movie comes out, I just watch, I see what they give me, and go from there.
Oh yeah, like I was saying, did the Knuckles series ever come out?
Yes, it's on HBO
Okay, I
Max.
haven't
Or sorry,
seen
it's on
it.
Max. I forgot they dropped the
Well, that's
HBO
why I
within
haven't
part of the
seen it.
name.
Yeah, I should watch that. Did what's her face come out in it? I just care if Rouge the Bat comes out. Who the fuck plays Rouge the Bat? Have we not got Rouge the Bat yet?
I don't think we've confirmed anything. There are some things saying that Amy Rose has been announced for a fourth movie, but I don't know if that's just AI related shit or not.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I see that exact AI looking thing I just saw right now that you said that. So I'm looking up fucking Rouge the Bat. I just want Rouge the Bat.
No, Manuel.
No, not because of that. I just legit.
No.
Like,
I
if we
mean,
have
no.
Knuckles,
I cannot find any. There are no other like Sonic characters that I can see
I
other
thought you were
than
saying no because I'm
the
gonna be
main
like,
three and Shadow.
I thought you were saying like no because I just
I mean that too,
We
but
get it. You watch
yes.
what I forgot the official Sonic the Hedgehog like social media made a joke about it recently, like a couple days ago, like where they were like, "Oh, we get that kind of content." I think that's like one of the first times, a few times I should say, not probably not the first, one of the few times they ever directly acknowledged that like 90% of the Sonic fandom is just fucking wild, to put it lightly. Like I think I
I mean,
mentioned before,
anyone who has a furry awakening is gonna get wild. I mean,
I'm positive if I look up Bruce the Bat, and this is me just yeah, I was right. No, well, safe search is off, but without I just put Rouge the Bat. Did not type anything else weird, and then there's in the first page.
we're not arguing against you. We're aware. Everyone who played the game is aware.
No, like if you I mentioned like if you want to go into the Furry Awakening moment, like there's what's her name? Sally Acorn. That's her name. From
Oh,
the
you're talking about
cartoon.
the one from the cartoon and the comics.
Yes. I love how I type in Sally Acorn and the prawn comes up even sooner. It's like the third line for me. I just put in Sally Acorn, did not put in
I feel that we should have like we should see if there's like a counter the same way that there's like an iceberg YouTube game and just wait for how long
no,
it takes for Manuel to get to of
I
any
really
related
I really
topic.
wish I could show this to you, but like not only is there of course, but there's also a picture of Sonic pregnant with her. I'm not making this up. And like I
Yeah,
just like
the comics be wild.
why is Sonic pregnant? He doesn't need to be pregnant.
Why was Cosmo pregnant?
Oh my god. Ugh.
Things just they just happen. They happen.
When I was really young, there was this movie called shit, I actually don't remember the name of the movie anymore. Doesn't matter. There's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he's pregnant.
Oh,
Um,
Junior.
is that the one? Okay, I can't remember the name. I wanted to say Junior too, but I couldn't remember if that was the name of it. And that movie like haunted me because I'm like, why the hell is this dude pregnant? Why is Arnold pregnant? Because this is like circa the time when I fucking loved like Conan the Conan movies, Barbarian Destroyer. I'd seen him in like True Lies at some point later on, and this is still before I think you even saw True Lies. And I just liked him, as the action star guy, like Commando, Predator. Those are good examples too. Oh, Terminator. I'm fucking stupid. Of
Yeah.
course. Anyway, so I see him in all this, and now he's preggers, and I'm like, what is happening? And a couple years back, I went down this rabbit hole because I'm like, what was that movie called? And I googled it, saw a YouTube deep dive on it, and I don't remember the YouTuber's name. I'll have to like look him up later on. But the YouTuber mentioned how during the 80s and well, pretty much from the 70s to the early 90s, there was a ton of MPreg movies. If you don't know what MPreg, like male pregnancy, like that was a genre for a hot minute. Like there are more than one, and I'm like, who in Hollywood had this fetish that people were greenlighting their movies?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm pretty sure there has to be a small cabal of like writers and people who are like, okay,
Dan
guys,
Schneider.
I came up with
No,
another MPreg movie,
no,
but
to be
this one
fair,
stars Arnold
Kevin
Schwarzenegger.
Spacey.
given that it was starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and directed by was it Ivan Reitman, it might have been pretty easy to greenlight.
Young?
Yes.
Ivan Reitman had it?
Yeah.
That's why
Directed and produced.
he likes his MPreg. He is Sonic. Is he still alive? I didn't pass away.
Sadly, he
Reitman.
died in 2022.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think he passed. I was gonna say. I remember he passing away because, like, anyway. So rest in peace. But I'm pretty sure he had some Sonic stuff on his computer, if you know what I mean.
Okay,
It's
so
just
we know that your bingo card for Sonic 3 includes Sonic getting pregnant. Understood.
yeah, and it's also Sonic. I'm not making this up. It was Sonic Media where I learned the term "vor." If you don't know what "vor" is,
Oh my
Google it.
gosh. Oh my
Explain it.
gosh. Oh my
But
gosh. Oh my
Sonic
gosh.
taught me
Not
"vor."
anime? Not anime? Just Sonic?
No,
Okay, cool. Good to
Sonic
know.
taught me "vor." This is a while ago because now it's kind of a bit more trendy. Like now you see it like in mainstream, like porn or whatever. Like obviously you don't see it, but you see like the people acting it out or whatever.
What is
Like
mainstream?
shit, you could just like you could find videos on it easily. But this is like 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. Sonic the Hedgehog fandom introduced me to what vor was, and I find that wild. I didn't want to know about it. This is Emmanuel, like
Oh man.
adventurous and discovering it. This is me just like
I'm
I
not
didn't
I'm
even
not
know
when
that.
I'm laughing, I'm not saying I've never come across it. I'm just saying like the closest thing to mainstream was like Two Girls One Cup, and that was only because no one was looking for it. It was at the front of YouTube's like it wasn't a recommended, yeah, it was just at the front of whatever we called it, and it was like, bruh, what? You're like, that's what I'm thinking. Like when you're saying like mainstream, I'm like, whenever is the mainstream like
I
got the
guess
right away?
yeah, I guess you. Okay, what I mean to say is you don't have to go to like the dark web for this. You could just like surface level first page results. If you want to find vor content, if that's your kink, I'm not gonna kink shame. Well, I will kink shame you, but I'll still let you do it. Obviously, I'll still talk to you afterwards. But
I'm not shaming anyone. I'm not sure why you're getting on that bandwagon. I laugh at the term mainstream. It's like talking about like whatever was available on Netflix back before they saturated everything with originals. It's like everyone saw it because there was
Oh,
like nothing else to
apparently,
watch.
okay, can we
apparently
get off this topic just so I don't have to
hold on,
bleep any more stuff in the edit?
apparently I taught the Lulu God about. Well, I didn't teach, but I informed the Lulu God about the existence of vor. Yeah, you're welcome. I had to learn it from Sonic. At least you learned it from me.
Okay, just to clarify what I typed in chat, I had heard the term, had no idea what it meant until Fangy played Dark Souls and was swallowed up by Frompt, and then it's like, I did not
That
consent to this.
that
Oh,
seems like
that's
a stretch. That's like a stretch of like, oh, okay.
no. It's like okay. I'm gonna shut up now. I was about
Yeah,
to
please. Sonic
vor.
3, anything. We're almost at time, so pick a topic.
I would say, well, we need to get the roster list from Manuel about who he would put in Marvel vs. Capcom 4. But I mean,
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
just
would take out Deadpool.
I
I don't
pointed this
think
out
Deadpool.
in our Discord. We're technically on 5 if you count Infinite as 4.
No one
no,
counts
Infinite
PS4.
never happened. Everyone's
Okay.
just calling it 4 online. Everyone's
Okay.
calling it MVC 4.
Okay, Manuel.
There's
Quick rundown for the
take out
cast.
Deadpool. Bring in put in Gambit. And I don't necessarily mean like what's his face is Gambit. Gambit. I want Psylocke back. I know she's like not really been missing, but you know who has been missing kind of recently? I used to love playing Silver Samurai and Children of the Atom. Is that what that game was called? Or maybe it was Marvel Superheroes. Doesn't matter. But in one of the non-versus games, he was in there. I don't know. I don't know if I know enough about modern Marvel to think of any hot takes. But But I would like to see is a Silver Samurai and Psylocke were always my favorite. I think Psylocke wasn't in 2. Psylocke was in 3, I think, but Psylocke in 2 was one of those special people that would do like a move. If you help, like I don't know what you call it, like an assist. That's the word I'm looking for. From the Capcom side, anyone new from Capcom? Ada Wong. Was Ada Wong ever playable? I know she was an assist, I think, in 3. That'd be cool. Phoenix Wright was in there, right?
Yes, he was
I'd
in
rather have
3 at
Apollo
least.
though. Yeah, I'd rather have Apollo Justice. Maybe give Maya Fey. I don't know. I don't think I have any deep hot takes. Who would you like to see tomorrow for? Take out Deadpool. We don't need any more Deadpool.
I like how most of your Marvel were X-Men. I would say keep Deadpool there because we can't not have Deadpool. He's like
Oh no, actually, put in Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a hot take, I guess. So there you go.
Okay. Put in Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. Put in what's his face? Miles Morales. If you want a hot take, it would be substituting Peter Parker for Miles Morales.
Or you mean the other way around?
Weapon?
Substituting Miles Morales for Peter Parker, not
Peter Parker or that, Miles. That. Doing it that way, yeah. What's it called? I guess you have to put in that guy from Street Fighter 6, and it'll make everyone upset. Luke. Put Luke in there.
Boxer, dude?
Rashid. Ew. Put Rashid from 5. Definitely put what's her name from 4. Yuri. Put Yuri from 4.
Okay, yeah.
I think we should just have an actual mecha Zangief rather than just like regular Zangief. Because I
want Solo Mania from the EX plus Alpha games. Is that a deep cut?
Shoot, I felt like there was somebody from like the Marvel thing that would be super dope. Shoot, I'm like forgetting.
Stars and Stripes. Stars and Stripes.
Stars and Stripes.
I just think of
wait, have they put Winter Soldier in before?
They put Bucky in there.
Yeah, he's in 3, right? So,
he's in Infinite.
Oh, Infinite.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Loki. I guess we should put Loki in there. Like finally.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. That does make sense actually.
Have Nero be playable. I think that'd be cool. The hot take would be you don't put Virgil or Dante in it for like putting more on the roster. Just put you get Nero. Here you go. You get Nero.
Put DMC Dante.
Oh God! Actually, there's a hot take. There's a hot take right there. That would be terrible.
Dude, I remember playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah.
And like actually playing it in like I don't say an arcade because it's actually a donut shop, but I was playing it in a donut shop with some local kids. And I remember I think we knew each other from school. And I'll never forget this motherfucker. He was playing as whoever the fucking Strider. He hit me like a couple times as Strider, jumped to the top, held on, and waited out the timer. And I did. And there is a way to you the way you jump up that high is you press down and up real fast, but I could not for the life of me get him off of there. He waited out the timer and he pissed me off. Like I think it's Strider, and I remember that fucking kid who beat me really cheaply.
So cut Strider because he'll just he'll bring out the trauma.
I remember that from I was a child, and that stuck with me.
Put Leon in it.
Yes, Leon Kennedy.
Put Squirrel Girl. Put Squirrel Girl. I haven't chosen X-Men yet. I choose Squirrel Girl. And then you will literally get annihilated by squirrels. Put her and Deadpool in a team together. It'll be hilarious.
Put X instead of Mega Man. I have a feeling X was in Infinite, wasn't he? It doesn't matter. Just put him anyway.
Oh, put Soki in there because he's been trapped on Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Put him and Mega Man and Volnut in it. Yeah, put those two there.
So there you go. That's our dream Marvel vs. Capcom 4 lineup.
Yep. Plus,
go ahead.
No, I was just saying plus the basic roster, I guess, or whatever. Yeah. But what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say real fast. I wanted to mention that like in other Nintendo news, which for some reason I think they're gonna do another direct just on Animal Crossing later. They already kind of said that they're closing down Pocket Camp, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, on November 28th. But they're apparently gonna release a paid version of it, and I'm kind of intrigued. I'll pay for it. I won't.
Why
pay
don't you
money.
just buy New Horizons then?
He already has that.
Right. But like,
It's their mobile
if
game.
if no one's ever played Pocket Camp, like it is one of the most predatory like it's not even gotcha. One of the most predatory like it is. There is gotcha elements, but like you can't get anything in that game unless you're willing to pay for it. And I am intrigued if they're just willing to like just base cost to make it a normal game. I'll buy it then. Yeah, apparently it's been out for like 8 years, which I think everyone forgets that that's why there was a huge gap between New Leaf and New Horizons.
I mean, it was also
Pocket Camp
because
exists.
they were working on a Splatoon as well.
Splatoon sucks. I can't stand the Splatoon series. Like, I know it has a lot of fans, but did we really need 3 games in like such a tiny like 8-year window? I don't think we did. I think it was even less than 8 years if you go from when they were released, like actually date to date. I think the first one was like 2014, right? So yeah, from then to now, whenever 3 came out, I think 3 came out in 2022. Anyway, we did not need that many games. What's in the chat? Watch this before you go.
I think Delulu tried to post a link and then our bot just got it.
Oh, what was the link?
I don't see it. I think I think our bots just automatically just censor links that Timer-chan or like a mod doesn't post. Sorry. If you're on our Discord, you can post it in there. I will link to that.
Yeah, and I'll watch it. Bliss. Oh, I don't know why I read Blisscord as Discord. Anyways, I guess we wrap it up there. Yeah, Pocket Camp's coming up with some shit, and did they link us Vor? Is that Vor? Are we going to watch Vor content?
Okay, that's definitely our sign to wrap things up.
Let's
Manuel mentioned Vor 5 times.
Yeah. He's saying it like it's Beetlejuice and he's hoping to summon it.
Okay, let's get going. Let's get going. Otherwise, Manuel's gonna start talking about that movie. Let's save it for next time. Save it for next time. Save it for next time.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is coming out. I don't even know what it's called.
Beetlejuice.
Is it really called that?
Yes, it's literally Beetlejuice 2 times.
Wait, how many times do you say it that he summons him?
3. So if you put 2 movies together, you get Beetlejuice.
Okay, I was gonna say because like no one's gonna make a third one. Okay. Like unless you wait 30 more years if Mr. Keaton's still alive then. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up there. Everyone go look up iShine and go look up Vor and go look up everything else we talked about today. Well, maybe not Vor. Actually, go look up Vor. Have fun. That's my present to everyone. Type in Sonic the Hedgehog Vor, and yeah, you can see like Amy Rose eating Sonic or something, or something wacky like that. Yeah, in case you don't know, it has to do with like yeah. Anyway, what's happening this week, JD? Tomorrow's Breath of Fire 3, Friday's Dream Talk Roll.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday's UPZ, and next Tuesday we're officially in fall. I think it's the first day of fall.
Cool.
And that's it. I hope Manuel isn't anyone's Secret Santa this year. I'm gonna get them like a Sonic Chew doll or something. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next week. Peace out.
Good night.